Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Coaches, the JAMODI podcast is powered by Shoot 360. The future of basketball has arrived in Dallas-Fort Worth. Shoot 360 combines the latest sports technology with the fundamentals of basketball skill development. The result is a one-of-a-kind video game-like basketball program designed to improve your shooting, dribbling, and passing. Visit shoot360dfw.com to learn more and register for your free 1-hour workout evaluation. Shoot 360, the future of basketball is here. I feel like I know so much about I'm Possible, but I'd love to hear kind of from you what makes your program different.
Yeah, I mean, so the main thing is we're 100% skills, almost 0% game, and that's.
Has there ever been a part of you that wants to go more game, but because of the not the niche, but this area that I feel like you've really done a great job of mastering, and it's kind of exclusive to you.
It comes down to, number one, what my passion and my gifts are. And right when I got done playing, I was an assistant coach on a couple different college basketball teams in Michigan, and I hated it. I'm just not. When I played the game, I loved every detail of it.
Yeah,
I love the X's and O's. I love the film study. I love the training of it as a trainer. And I don't even like to use the word coach for me.
Okay.
Is I'm not drawn to that side of the game. It's not where my passion is. And so I just see it from a different perspective. And so from the pure love of it, I'm staying right where I love. As far as from the game side, I just think there's still too much to accomplish on the skill side.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly deep and way deeper than I ever thought it was since I've gone down this lane, that it's in order to master this, it would be, this probably isn't a good example because I have no idea what this actually takes, but I don't know how many people are phenomenal brain surgeons and heart surgeons. Maybe people do both. I have no idea, but I feel like that would be very specialized, because it's got to be so deep, right? And so that's how I feel in skills. I mean, the more we've studied skill specific and body movement and everything, I still got a ton more to learn. And it's an incredibly detailed subject. So if I start going into both sides, I don't feel like I'm really going to be a master of the skill side. And I also feel like it's almost my mission field. There's still a lot of coaches who don't understand the difference. They think training is just training, and training is training. And there really is a whole different need for skill work that will help coaches and will help players and will help teams that they're not getting because no one's really taking that leap. A lot of times it's because they're looking at it from such a literal perspective.
I would say too, and I've felt this at times. There was in one of the live kind of like trainer summits that you had, and again, I was just a high school coach that I registered, and I took off from work. I thought you'd appreciate that. I took off from work to stay home and watch the clinic online. But there was a skills trainer that talked about the fact that he had never played, but so there's this insecurity in the fact he didn't think he could do, because what's unique about you, and maybe when I was younger, I could demonstrate a little bit, but you demonstrate well, and there's other trainers that demonstrate well. So there's like this instant credibility, like, oh, wow, look at Micah do that. Like, that's incredible. But this guy was saying like that he uses his fist as the ball because I'll never lose the ball and I can do those movements. But I think a lot of coaches, and I felt this a little bit in the past, because I'm very comfortable doing 2-ball drills that I did as a player. I can get right back into that mode and I can show them that with some good speed. But some of the things that you do, I've never really worked on myself. I never did it. So I'm wondering how many coaches are held captive to the fear of insecurity of looking maybe silly in front of players.
Far too many. And actually, if you look at what I do, what I've done in the past 3 to 5 years, I've demonstrated a whole lot less.
Yes. Yeah.
Part of it was on purpose because I wanted to set a better example for trainers, which I'll go into. Part of it's because I'm getting older and I'm looking ahead. Like I still can do it, but it sure hurts a whole lot more, right?
That's right.
And I want this to be sustainable. So
yeah.
When I started really peeling back the onion of skill enhancement training, I realized I don't really need to be demonstrating. These players don't need to see me do it. I thought they did. Maybe they did years ago, but they don't need to see me do it now. In fact, I think a lot of times it distracts them, especially when you're really, really good at it. So I started fooling around with just doing as little demonstration as possible. I know a lot of coaches are still in that. I got to sweat with my players and I got to grind with my players. I've taken the completely opposite approach for the past, 5 to 10 years. And they do the work. I'm there to teach. If I have to show it, I can, but I try to stay off of it. And I try to let the teaching do the work, have the player learn how to motivate themselves. And it's amazing. It's better results. So it was a better show when I showed it all. It was more entertaining maybe for someone watching, but I've gotten better results of showing less. And we're the world's largest basketball training organization at I'm Possible Training, in terms of how many trainers we have certified worldwide, skill lab facilities all over the country. And that's what we do best is we teach coaches and trainers how to teach without having to demonstrate.
Yep.
And a lot of times the hard talks I have to have with coaches is you should never shoot. Listen, you can't shoot. Your shot is so jacked up.
You're losing all credibility
if
the
you
moment
keep shooting. You're hurting yourself. But everybody can have good form without a ball.
That's right.
And
I never miss a shot.
Never. And so you can learn. So we teach our trainers and coaches how to demonstrate mimicking movements when you're not comfortable. And the only stuff you should show, honestly, in my opinion, especially from a trainer perspective, is the stuff that you're killer at. If you look good doing it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we have to have a check at that. Do I look good doing this or not? True or false? That's going to decide, if I do it.
That's good. That's a good nugget right there.
And when you get good at terminology and explanations, those replace the need to demonstrate. Because when I say the word drop, if I've effectively taught it, the image is in a player's head, they now have it. They don't need to see it. So I don't have to all right, let me show this again. No, I said the word drop. You know what it is. So if I tell you to do it, the picture's there.
And see, I think you're right on the money with you figured it out in the training world, exactly what, as we get older as coaches, we try to figure out too, is speak less, give them more time for reps and for bike riding time to fall off the bike and get right back on without us stopping them every second and allowing them to be in that laboratory mentality. But you figured that out. And I will say this, you've had a big influence on me with teaching skill with my players, just to, with 1 in 30, I can call out a command, like you said, that they know. And there's different levels of mastery for sure, based on their skill and experience. But it's helped me in a big way.
Awesome.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.